Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all well. In today's video I'm going to show you how to make this 3D beaded sweet corn on the cob. This is what it looks like. So I already have a video for another one that's a little bit different to this if you want to check that out as well. This is like the updated version. Please excuse my nail, which broke horribly a few days ago. But this is what we're going to be making. So to make one of these, you're going to need some size 11 seed beads in yellow and green. So I actually use two different yellows, like a nice buttery yellow, and then this one, which is hard to show on the camera, but it's got this rainbow effect, if you can see that. So it just makes it a bit sparkly, because everything should be sparkly. And then I also add in a few random like cream or white beads to make it look more realistic, you know, when you have the ones that aren't quite ripened. And then they're all size 11, and then also size 11 we're going to need green, so I'm using two different greens, and again that's just because I add in this one with the rainbow so that it's all sparkly. And then you'll need a jump ring or a split ring, and then whatever you want to attach it to, like whether you want it to be earrings or a necklace or whatever it's going to be, you'll need that as well. You'll need a size 12 beading needle, and I'm using £6 fireline for this. So thread that onto your needle and then we'll be ready to start. We're going to start by adding a stop bead. So I'm going to use one of my green beads for this so I don't get it mixed up with the yellow ones. So just picking up one of your green beads and then slide it all the way down onto your thread. You want to leave about 8 inches, and then go up through that bead like that. That just stops all your other beads falling off the end while we begin working on this. Then you're going to pick up 14 of your yellow beads. So with the 3 different colours, I do mainly this one, and then I randomly, occasionally, will just add in one of the other 2 colours. So that's how I do it. So pick up 14, like that, and then slide those all the way down to the stop bead. So we have this. Now this first row, it can be a little tricky to hold it, but you want to keep them pushed up against the stop bead. I'm going to hold it like this, so I'm working at this end, and there's the stop bead. And then I'm going to pick up 2 yellow. I'm coming out of the bottom here, remember. You're going to go down through the first 2 beads. Like that. Keep holding those up against the stop bead as you do that until that comes through. If it's moved away now from the stop bead, like this, you just want to grab those and push them all the way back up. Once you've added these first 2 beads, then it should stay there now. So from here you're going to go up through those 2 you just added. And then picking up 2 yellow, again we're just working on the corn at the moment. You're going to go down through the next 2. So here's the ones that, like the level you're working at, you go down through the next 2 on that original group of 14, like that, and then back across and up through the 2 you just added. Pull it nice and tight. You should have this, and same thing again, picking up 2, going down through the next 2, and back up through the 2 you added. Pick up 2, going down through the next 2 in that first column, and back up through the 2 you added. You're going to do that 3 more times, so picking up 2, down through 2, up through 2, picking up 2, down through 2, up through 2, and on the last one. So when you get to the end you should have this, and you should be coming out of the top 2 on this right hand row. So it might curve a little bit, that doesn't matter. What you're going to do, ignore that stop bead and then go down through all 14 on that first column. And back up through all 14 in the row you just added, column you just added, I should say. That should straighten it out a little bit like this. Now we're going to flip it over, so we're working at the bottom again, and we're going to do the same thing again to this row. So all you're doing every time, picking up 2 yellow, out of the bottom 2, you're going to go down through the first 2 and then back up through those 2 you added, again picking up 2, now going down through the next 2, and up through the 2 you just added. And again, you're going to do that all the way to the top, adding groups of 2. Once you get up here and you've added that last 2, I'll show you what to do. So I'm at the top, I've just added those last 2 and gone back up through them like normal. So what we're going to do now is go all the way down this row and back up through this one. Like this, flip it over. And now you're at the bottom here, you're ready to add your next row. So you're going to do that in the same way again. And now you need to keep going, repeating those steps until you've got 8 columns. So right now we've got 3. Keep going and do 5 more, and then I'll show you what to do next. Okay, so once you've done that, it should look like this. So you've got your flat corn, 8 rows, 8 columns. Now you need to take your stop bead off, so you should be able to just grab that and pull that off now. It's not going anywhere now. And then you're going to fold it in half. So you've got your tail thread and then your working thread here. Why won't it focus? There we go. Now coming out the top here, you're going to go down through 4 in this row and then back up through 4 in this row. So down through 4, up through 4, down through 8 in this one, and then up through 4 in this one. So you need to find the row that's level with where you're coming out of, so count down through 8 beads on this side, making sure you're going up through the right one. So up through 4, some here. Again, make sure you're going to go down into the one that's exactly level, so count down the beads if necessary, and then you're going to go down through 8 again. And across into the other side. It should be the 3rd bead up that you go into. You want to go up through 4, and then down all the way to the bottom on the other side. And then you're going to go all the way up to the top on the other side. Roll it back. This is what you should have. So now you're going to pick up 4 of your yellow beads. Sorry about the noise in the background, I think someone's having some building work done nearby. So coming out of this column here, you're going to skip over 2 and go down through the 3rd column along. And you're only going to go down through the top one, the top bead, just through the top one. So you have that, and then I'm turning it around a little bit. I'm going to move up through the top bead in the next column along, and then I'm going to pick up 4 beads again, and coming out of this column here you're going to skip the 2 and go down through the top bead in this next column, the 3rd one along. So you have this. Now you're going to go up through the next bead and up into 2 of those beads you just added, like that. So you're coming out of the 2 here. We want to connect these 2 little arches we just created together. So coming out of the 2 here, you're going to go into this other one that it's not connected to. So up through these and down through the 2 on this side of this group of 4 that we just added. And then you're going to go straight up through these 2, not going through any of these beads on the main part of the corn, just straight up through the next 2. Make sure that doesn't get caught. You pull it tight and it should bring them together. Now coming out of these 2, you're going to go down through the next 2 in that next group of 4, and then again up through the next 2 to join those together as well. So you have this. So coming out of here at the bottom, if you look at it sideways now, you've got this little group of 4 on the bottom, and then you've got these 2 sides that kind of stick out now. So from here we're going to move back down through the next 2 beads just to get back to the base of the corn. And you want to be coming out of one of these rows on either side that does stick out further than the others now. So I'm going to go from here straight up through 1 bead into the row directly above the one I'm coming out of, and then down through 1 bead in this next row, which is one of those that's not connected at all to this bunch of beads we added at the bottom. So that's one of those rows that now sits out on the side on its own, like that. So I'm coming out of here. Now we're going to pick up 2 green beads, and so here's the front with those 4 on the bottom. I've just turned it to the side. I'm going to go up through the next bead on the bottom row, like that. Now back down through the yellow bead on the other side at the bottom, and then into that green bead underneath as well. So we're coming out here out of this green bead. I'm going to turn it around this way now. Now we're going to pick up 2 green, and just like with the yellow, I just add my sparkly ones in randomly. So coming out of this one on this side, you're going to go down through the green bead on the other side, like that, and then back into the other side up through 2. So up through the one on the bottom and the first one you just added. Then picking up 2 green again, coming out of these 2 this side, go down through just 1 on the other side, then going across, making sure you're going into the one that's level, so the second one up, and up into the one above as well. Same thing again, pick up 2, go down through the top bead on the other side, make sure they lie nice and flat like that, then going up through the top 2. Pick up 2, down through 1, make sure they lie flat before you carry on. And then go up through the top 2 on the other side. Okay, you want to keep doing that until you've got 15 rows of green beads. Okay, so I've added 15 rows all together, and then you just want to pick up one bead and go down through the top bead on the other side, like that. Now you want to fold it over to the corn where you want it to sit. And I like my top bit to curve out a little bit, so I'm going to move down through 2 more beads and then lay it where I want it to sit. And then lining it up like this, so I want it to sit here, holding it nice and tight. I'm going to go into one of the yellow beads, down through one of the yellow beads that's kind of like level with where my thread is coming out of, so it's not going to drag the shape too much. Down through that bead, so that's connected there. And then I'm going to move again across from the yellow one, and I'm going to go down through the bead that it's kind of level with, down through maybe 3 beads in the green, and then again going across and going down into the bead that it's kind of level with. Okay, so we have this, pull it nice and tight. It's going to keep flattening out at the minute, but that's okay, don't worry about that too much at the minute. So I'm coming out of the yellow again, I'm going to go across and then down into the green bead that it's kind of level with, going down through 3, and then doing the same thing again, so going into the yellow bead where it's coming out of, and then all the way down to the bottom this time. Okay, pull that nice and tight, and you should have this. Now we should be coming out the bottom. We're just going to move up into the green bead and down through the green bead on the other side, and turned it over so I'm on this side. Now I'm just going to move up through the yellow bead, through a couple of yellow beads in this row next to the green, some here, making sure this is sitting where you want it to, so you're going to be going into this row here that's right next to it, and then from here same thing, going across. This time you're going to go up into the green bead that it's in line with, up through 3, across into the yellow that it's going to be in line with, and up through just the 1, and then again going a thread across so you can see which bead you know going up into, up through 3 of the green, back into the yellow that it's in line with, and then back into the green, and that should probably be your top one, because if you want to leave that kind of curling out, you don't want it attached all the way to the top. So you have this. Now you're going to go across through that bead on the top. You want to go all the way down to the bottom. So I've gone all the way down, so I'm coming out the bottom column of green beads. Then I'm going to pick up 1 green and go into, so you've got those group of columns of 2 that we added at the bottom. You want to go into the top bead, same side that you're coming out of, like that. Now down through the top bead on the next column along on this side, you want to go back into that green bead that you just added, and then back into the bottom green bead on the other side of the green. So you started on this side, you want to go into the other side. Make sure you pull that really nice and tight. So we have this. you're going to go back through that green bead, back through the green we just added, and into that top bead on that bottom group of 4 yellow beads. Now we need to move over to this side over here where we're going to add our next green section. So I'm just going to come down through 2, up through 1, and then down through 1 at the bottom. So as long as you're coming out the bottom of that row that sticks out, then you're ready to add your other green in exactly the same way. So if you need to go back to that part and watch that again, start by adding the 2 and then add 15 rows, add the bead on the top, and then going up and down connecting it to the beads like we just did, and then go ahead and add this single green bead here, attaching it to the 2 at the top on this side, and then I'll join you back to show you what to do next. Okay, so I've gone ahead and done that. So right now I've got this, and what I've done is I've taken my needle off of my working thread and I've threaded it onto that 8-inch tail thread that you should have from the beginning. Now that is coming out somewhere down here at the bottom. We need to just move it all the way up, whichever row it is next to, column or whatever. It should go all the way up to the top. Like that. Then picking up 1 yellow. So coming out of this one, I'm going to go straight down through the top bead on the next one, and then up through the top bead on the next column, and then picking up 1, coming out of this column, going straight down through the top bead of the next column, and up through the top bead on the next one. Then picking up a yellow again, coming out of the top bead on this one, so down through the top bead on the next one. And then up through the top bead of the next column and add your last bead. So in the same way, coming out of the top bead on this column, I'm going to go down through the top bead on the next one. That's it. So we have this. Now I'm going to move up through the top bead on the next column so that I'm back where we started. And I'm going to go through that first bead that we added in that last row, and then I'm going to circle through all 4 of those beads that we just added on the top, bringing them together like that. So then what I'm going to do is pick up another single yellow bead. I'm coming out of this, so you've got that group of 4 now on the top, so I'm coming out of this one in this direction. I'm going to go into the one opposite in the same direction, so like that. And then I'm going to go up into that bead, back into the one it was coming out of on the other side, but through the side that it's not yet connected to, like that, and again back up into that bead. Now we're just going to pick up our jump ring and go back through the bead on the other side, and then you're going to circle through that several times, just make sure that's really secure. All that's left to do then is to tie our knots, and we are all finished. Okay, so from here I'm just going to show you how to tie a knot, and then you can do the same several times and with the other thread as well. So I'm taking my needle underneath the thread that connects the bead that I'm coming out of to the next one, so taking your needle under those threads to capture them, then creating a loop and going through that loop 2 times from back to front. Pull it really tight until you feel the knot tighten, and then move your needle away from your knot through several beads before you tie your next one or before you cut your thread. Just go ahead and do that on both and then you'll be finished. So this is what our finished sweet corn looks like. Very cute. So if you made this, I'd love to see. You can share pictures with me on Instagram at Beading by Hannah and I'll repost them on there. You can like this video and subscribe if you enjoyed to see more of my videos, and comment down below anything else you'd like to see. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.